This is a Model 1917 Bolo knife used in World War I. It was used by engineers and machine gun crews, primarily to clear brush in order to set up shooting positions. The Model 1917 is an updated and simplified version of the earlier Model 1910. The 1910 was almost identical to this in look, however it was made by Springfield Armory, whereas the 1917s were contracted to commercial firms, with the majority being made by Plumb in Philadelphia and St. Louis, and American Cutlery Company in Chicago. That's where this was made. And this knife is actually a Model 1917 CT, a subvariant of the 1917. The CT stands for commercial tolerance, a looser standard of fit and finish. The main difference is that the blade and the pommel are made in two pieces, then welded together. I'll remove these grips to be able to show that. I think that the weld is here, near the pommel. This allowed production to keep up with demand as the US was entering the First World War. As for the blade itself, the rushed production is very evident. Even though this has seen some heavy use, you can usually tell how well something was made initially, and this wasn't made to a very high standard. Nevertheless, it's a tool, and it was used as such. The blade is very hefty. It's just over 10 inches long, and nearly a 1/4 inch thick. As for this specific example, I found this at a gun show for cheap. You could already see its faults, the missing section of grip, and the lack of screws to hold them on. In addition, the crossguard is bent and loose. These issues were reflected in the price that I paid. Decent examples can go for triple this. I'll work to solve those issues by the end of the video, starting with the crossguard. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get this perfectly straight, but I'll get it as straight as I can. Then to reattach it, I'll add a couple of tack welds. I'm not sure how this was done originally. I can't find any evidence anywhere. But with the pommel welded on these 1917 CTs, it wouldn't surprise me if this was also welded on. There's the crossguard straightened and reattached. As predicted, I wasn't able to get it perfectly straight, especially in the limited confines of having the tang run through it, but it's better than it started off as. Next I'll move on to the grips. For this one, I'll glue on a piece of walnut and shape that to match. I'll have to plane this broken edge flat to be able to have a proper bond. The other grip isn't without its own issues. On the reverse side, there's a large crack. However, this looks more like wood expansion to me, instead of it being cracked through misuse. If I were to clamp this closed, it would likely crack the outside. Since it's bowed due to the crack, and can rock back and forth on a flat surface, I'll plane it flat. That's the grips done. I'm pretty happy with how the color matching turned out. It's hard to tell at first glance that this has been repaired. And they fit the Bolo knife well. You saw that I had to remove material underneath here to clear the welded crossguard. But now I need something to hold these on. This side still has the threaded retainers, whereas this side is missing the screws. Luckily, the retainers are a standard thread size, so screws should be easy to make. I've seen some pictures online of the heads of the screws, which I'll duplicate. The one other thing is that there's a steel insert here, sort of a washer, that's missing from this other hole. I'll make that as well. With the grips reattached, that's the knife done. I'm not going any further with this into a full restoration because I like the patina that it has already. You can tell it's been heavily used, both in its service life as well as likely in its post-surplus life. It's a welcome addition to my edged weapon collection, fitting in with my other Bolo knives. I have the model 1915 Bolo bayonet replica that I made in a previous video, and a model 1904 Hospital Corpse Bolo. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.